Hello, my beautiful souls. This is the Ruby Garnet Show. And I'm not an LMHC, I'm not a doctor, financial, legal advisor. All choices are your own. It's all timeless in general, entertainment value only. You have this beautiful thing called free will. You do. And it's okay to be messy and not have all your shit figured out. The show is not about being perfect. It's never going to be about that. I'm a personal transformation tarot reader. I'm a personal transformation guide. And in order for us to get better at life, we have to be willing to be messy. We have to be willing to be imperfect. We have to be willing to, whether we like it or not, to own some things about ourselves that are unsettling, uncomfortable. But with that said, sometimes there's a lot of positivity in being, with all the growth, there's a lot of good humor, there's a lot of fun stuff, there's joy. We are, for the past 2 episodes, we've been working with the tarot reading. So if you go back to Friday, there was a reading that I imagined to pull cards from. And we focused on the 3 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, and an angel number 33, and koi fish came forth for us. This was all from my head, just imagining myself pulling all this stuff for you. And the main theme was that because of all your good hard work, good things are coming, and there will be connections, opportunities aligned for you, especially if you continue wiggling and stumbling into the light. I from my own experience, sometimes wiggling our way is the best way. And so sometimes you'll be like trying to shift yourself in a better feeling space. And sometimes you're actually like, you had a moment, you had the worst moment ever. And you're like, I need to get back in alignment. How do I do that? And so you just find a way throughout the whole day, getting to a better space. Sometimes it takes you the whole day. That's still an alignment process. Sometimes, I remember wiggling my way through a whole day, and then boom, I'm like, oh, I did it. I'm in alignment. This is great. This is amazing. It feels so good to be aligned. And you just, you don't like, so what Spirit is saying, we need you to put in the time, the effort that will allow you to get to that place. And for some of you who may be new at it, maybe your alignment once a week, maybe your alignment once an hour a day, maybe your alignment for a minute here or two across the week. And Spirit's like, that is enough, my golden lily pads. I don't know why they want to call you golden lily pad, but maybe to emphasize the fact that you are, when the time is right, you are going to evolve and manifest so many wonderful things. Like I can't even, the gold is just coming forth like a golden yellow hue. And it's been in my brain for the past 3 days throughout these episodes. And this 3rd episode is going to be mostly us focusing on affirmations, maybe even meditation. I tried to figure out meditation, but all I could do was affirmations. And so if anything, I'm going to tell you kind of my day of working with yes, because that was one of the things, the themes that came from the past couple days was yes. Say yes to things. I wish I wrote down the affirmations, but I'm using my phone, so I'm going to go based on memory on the affirmations. So let's take a moment. And and I want you to think into existence like almost like you are course correcting yourself. You are changing the narrative. You are changing chemistry in your brain through these words. Like think of it as that there's light, like ribbons stitching. You are weaving something into your soul and anchoring into the light when we do affirmations. The spirit saying like this is like healing. This is a form of healing that we could do for ourselves. It's okay to want good things. When good things occur, I feel good. I love golden opportunities. Golden opportunities allow me to shine and feel good about my world. And my world is beautiful and great. I love it when I say yes to opportunities. When I say yes to opportunities, I'm open and receptive. Being open and receptive allow me to say yes to opportunities that maybe normally I'd say no to. And when I say yes to these opportunities, I'm willing to be flexible and think outside the box. And when I think outside the box, I'm willing and able to envision a better tomorrow, a better today. And when I envision the better tomorrow and the better today, I imagine all the things that make me happy. And all and all the better things, and all the things I envision in my world are wealth, health, happiness, nice things that when I think of them, I just feel so good inside. I feel wonderful. These things are wonderful, and I am allowed to have them. When I think of them, I just think of happiness. My whole being just glows. It's almost like like it's a happy dream. And a happy dream where the energy is coming into this world right now, right here and now. And it's just spreading across my face. I can't stop smiling. The smile refuses to go away. It just keeps happening and occurring. My eyes go upwards to the sky, and I see only the brightness of the world, and it is beautiful. All is good and wondrous and holy and bright. I am so blessed in this light. Everything shines. Everything is new and glorious and wonderful. I have the faith that I hold in my hands and my arms allow me to take steps towards the better tomorrow that I know is mine. And when I take these steps into this world that I've envisioned, my feet are guided forward, almost like a child being guided to a place of safety. There's someone out there knowing where I must go, and they care so much for me. I have faith and trust that wherever I'm guided to go is safe and holy and bright. It's almost like they're tapping, saying, pointing to the direction I must go in and saying, here, go this way. All is well. All is right. Feel inspired as we sing to you in your dreams. Because when they tell me that I am well and good, the light molecules in my body sing the most holiest of bright magics across time and space, and I feel illuminated. I can't believe how amazing my life is. I'm living the best life I possibly could have ever hoped and imagined. And in fact, there are so many things I never imagined. I never imagined the sheer prosperity, the sheer joy, the sheer kindness, the sheer light. and glory that follow me everywhere I go. It's almost like magic just loves to be nearby me. Like, it's almost like God wants to remind me that everything is good. They saw me as a child and whispered in my ear and looked deep into my eyes and told me as a little girl, as a little boy, that we find you cherishable. We want you to think the world is good. And as I grew up, something in me still believed. And so here I am today believing again. And this belief makes me tall and straight. And I look upwards and I know all is well and all is good. I feel good inside. When I follow the light, all is bright within sight. Light as a feather is such might. I find such delight. All is right. Let's take a deep breath, okay? Take a couple in, out. Try to hold it in for 3 seconds. Count for yourself, okay? And then count outwards 3 times, okay? Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Release. Good. Let's do this 3 more times. Breathe in. Release. Breathe in. Release. Good. So we're going to do an exercise that I have re-begun, that I enjoy and has helped me plenty. So what you do first is you got to be sitting for the most part, but the goal is to look so we all have auras, and we all have bodies, and we have tension, and we have pain, but we have spots in our auras that actually have really positive energies, and we have parts of our body that feel good. So the intention in this exercise is to find the part in our bodies that feel good. And I probably have told you guys this exercise before, but I feel like repeating is always necessary, because when we repeat something, we actually get really good at it. So I want you to take a moment, anywhere that you feel light. Allow your third eye to be directed to it. Allow yourself to intuitively find it. Take your time. Okay, so now if there's any colors, positive images that come to mind, feel free to be aware of that too. We're going to imagine that the parts in our body want to mimic that feeling and that sensation. You can imagine a specific body just loosening up. Maybe it's just a little shift in something, a decreased level of tension, and it's now feeling a little bit more lighter. Sometimes you'll feel called, like an image of a crystal or a stone or a feather or something will come into mind, Now, I want you to listen to that. Ask it something. And I'm going to role model this to you. This is actually something I've already done for myself plenty of times. I'm going to use the example of rhododite. And I've already done this, but I'm going to reenact it with you. Rhododite. Ancient, beloved being across time and space. What are you here to tell me? I am here to heal you, my most beloved child. Where should I place you in my body? Now, for whatever reason, the words don't want to come forth. So at the time, what happened is I actually moved the stone to my throat chakra, and it was, sorry, not my throat chakra. That explains why okay, that's interesting. Originally it was my heart chakra, now that I'm recalling, but I was talking about my throat chakra for some weird reason. Let me touch base with the rhododite stone for a moment. So it was originally my heart chakra. So I think it's trying to tell me, yes, it wants to switch. Oh, there's going to be a new rhododite stone, semi-precious gem. No, this is stone. Don't mind me. But it's going to go in my throat chakra. So it's smaller though. And it's a sister of the original rhododite in my heart chakra. So it's much smaller, like very small, like the size of a dime, I would imagine. And I'm going to move it. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. That's nice. I like that. It feels good. Take a couple breaths. Nice. That feels good. There's something there, my throat chakra right now, and it almost looks like crescent moon. And I would say it's waning. So that tells me something. Something is kind of coming to a close and end. Spirit's saying, like, your inability to communicate effectively needs to dissipate. And I'm sorry, give me a moment. There's a general ending of something. And the throat chakra is not just about communicating, it's about expression. Give me a minute. Money's coming back forth, and they're saying your voice is going to be instrumental to you receiving more money. But they're talking about my writing career too, so I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry, but you know me, I love writing. They're like telling me I should write more. They're like, girl, like, you need to write more. And I'm like, I was. And they're like, yeah, but you need to get back to writing again. I took a break. I wrote affirmations. And they're like, no, that does not count. That does not count. And this is part of what I call it's called a conversation, basically. I have a different name for it, but it's not, this doesn't, we're just basically call it like you're having conversations with crystals, with beings, with feathers. You're having conversations with stones. You're having conversations with the divine source. And I know it sounds silly, but that's okay. We can't worry about what is silly when we're doing the healing process. If anyone knows anything about Gestalt therapy, I'm pretty sure out there someone felt silly talking to their arm. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it allows us to open a pathway of healing that we would otherwise be resistant to. And so I really do, luckily enough, believe in what I'm doing, because it actually amplifies the magical healing process that is this. And so what happens when we believe in what we're actually doing is actually it increases the magic like a lot. And because there's a whole science behind it, but I don't feel like going into that. Because honestly, I don't feel like that really. I feel like if it works for us, that should be evidence enough. The belief should be, the faith should be more of confirmation. Like saying yes. I want to be able to say yes to positive changes in my life. I would love to say yes and be open and receptive to all this beautiful stuff coming. And when we're having dialogues with energy forms and beings, what we're doing is we're actually teaching ourselves to be open and receptive to new ideas too, because they're going to tell us things that that are unique, very so. And one of the things they told me is, because I was having a hard time, I was seeing a lot of Two of Swords, and I know what that means. It's like you're indecisive, there's two decisions, you're blind to something, blind to an alternative solution. And they kept saying like you're being blind right now to this solution that we have laying in your lap. And I said, well, what is that solution? It's like everything is a yes. Everything is a possibility. They're saying like, be open to whatever we give to you. You don't have to limit to these two answers. Like, oh, is it this or is it that? They're like, no. When you're open and receptive to the divine source, you're open to, this is excluding being naive and not using our good senses to know when something is sus. But basically, like, it allows them to be like, you can allow us to help you. We want to help you. And in order for us to help you, you have to be open and receptive. And you have to follow our guidance a little bit more. And I'm like, well, I suppose. And that's actually less resistant for me, is I suppose. I am a lot more open and receptive to the divine source. And I wouldn't be sharing this with you at all if I wasn't. Because I think that's why it's so important for us to hear other people and their manifestation stories, but also to we are in a world where isolation and ignorance and pain and suffering have really clouded things for us, and we need an alternative narrative. And I worry about the people who are kind of trapped in their phones, who are deeply isolated, who need to talk to other people, and they're only hearing this one narrative of like, so depressed people they did a research study where they found them to be the most quote unquote realistic individuals. They tend to be so, and that means they're so knee deep in their current reality they can't envision a more optimistic version of events. And when you can't envision, and they did more research into this, where if it's helpful to envision how to do new things, and like seeing yourself doing, like for myself, like writing on the computer and being intensely focused for hours upon hours and creating these characters. Because when I envision myself doing that, I'm creating an internal muscle memory loop that I can fall back on, because it'll become like the new normal. And then things are connected that I'll like expand upon, where I'm like, well, what's my, am I drinking hot tea? Ooh, I have a ginger hot tea. Ooh. And maybe I'm seeing my office, like I have a brand new office, and it's got an air plant nearby. And so eventually what happens is that because it's becoming an internal muscle memory, you're just so much more likely to do that because it's not so scary. But you have a system in place because you're thinking about all the things that be around you in your writing place. Like maybe you have notepads, like you can write quick notes. You have all your reference materials in a certain specific space where you can go in. I do this all the time where I'm thinking, well, I have all these notebooks and things like that, and I would have it somewhere near my office where I would just go over to, not that very far, but a specifically bin where I could pull it out and look at it and flip it, and it would be bookmarked. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is this and this. Okay, I need to know that. That's perfect, because there's been plenty of times I'm writing and I'm like, I need my references. And when you're a writer, you need your references about these characters. You need to know, like I have a character who is mixed race, and her grandmother was a Pacific race, and I like, what was it called? What was it called? Oh shoot! And I had to go, and it took forever to find the race name. And when I found it, I was like, oh good, I have that now. I wish I had it before, man. And so if you're envisioning your life, what are your habits? What are you doing? Where are these things in placement in, in your location of where you are, what you're doing? If you're making smoothies because you want to be healthier, envision yourself going into the kitchen, opening that fridge, pulling out like, you got grapes for a snack. Maybe you're pulling out blueberries, strawberries, you're pulling out mangoes, you're pulling out these different things, and you envision yourself being really good at it. You've been at it for a while. Envision yourself like, yeah, like this is just my new normal. I've been at it for a couple of years. I feel great. I'm drinking lots of water. Oh my God. And then imagine yourself like talking to people like, yeah, I'm drinking more tea. I feel really good. I even like, when I get my cravings for like ice cream or sugar or candy, I just go and I have a grape. I'm not talking about almond mom stuff or almond whoever's things like that. I'm talking about like people who actually, they want to have a healthier lifestyle. So what does that look like to you? What are your habits? Are you like, imagine yourself being proud of yourself, and then bring that forth into your body. Say, feel it, go through the motions. I know it seems weird at first because when we're talking to these energies, it feels weird at first, but you get used to it, you get better at it, and so you go, yeah, I feel really proud of myself. I'm gonna go through it with you. I'm gonna role model, okay? By the way, I'm gonna role model. Something I'm trying to do is drink more tea, and something else I'm trying to do is be more independent and problem solve. So I'm gonna envision for you. I'm envisioning making rice. I'm not kidding you. I'm like really proud of myself. Oh, I made myself my first really good healthy meal. It was rice, and I put the spices in, and I was stirring it. I feel so good. I even had chicken in the oven, and it had like this really yummy aroma. Oh my God, I'm so proud of myself. I made a really good healthy meal for my family, and I presented to them, and I'm like, really, I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself. And when I'm going through this imagining process, my whole body shifts and changes. I'm smiling so big. My eyes are going up. My eyes are wide. My mouth is wide, and my hands are moving. I'm looking everywhere. I'm feeling really good. Like when I get really happy, like I look everywhere. I know this sounds weird, but like when you're really happy, what do you do? When you're really proud, how do you feel in your body? And like maybe your muscles loosen up, and maybe when you're really happy, like you kind of like do a jiggle with your body, like you might like move, you're like, or you do a little dance. I used to do that like when I got really happy. Sometimes I would just uncontrollably move around everywhere. Like I had zoomies when I was younger. I'm not kidding you. And when I was younger and I was trying to manifest things, I had to have zoomies. Like literally, I remember trying to get a job. And what I did is I looked in the mirror, I did the power poses, and I smile, and then I would look up, and I did all these things, and I was like, say, oh my God, you did it. And I would go through it. I go like, I would even have that shock awe, like, oh my God, I got the job. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I would like go through the like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I would envision I got the offer letter, and I would look at the price and like, the money. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. Oh my God. So for you, it's going to be different. And sometimes like the feelings state that you need to imagine, it's going to be a specific thing. And so you have to kind of go through that process. And I know it sounds crazy, but for me, like when I feel really good in my body, like my whole face is different and it feels good. And I feel like, oh my God. And sometimes like I'll be driving and I'm imagining like my whole life is different. And I'm like, think about it, like when you hit that dream life, you're going to be on air. So what does that feel like? How are you acting, right? And sometimes I think I've caught off people off guard by that positive vibe, that positive energy. They're like, hi, sorry. So I didn't realize that it was getting so late. We're already at 30 minutes, so I do have to wrap up this up. I want to say thank you so much for listening. If you got to this point, I get it. Oh my God, I am really happy we did that this episode because I enjoy it so much. So thank you so much for listening, and also to please stay tuned. The way I'm going to be doing the show moving forward is the 3-episode format, where Friday we do whether it's interpretation, I'm calling it interpretation or insight. It'll be like double eyes or whatever, like I don't know how I'm gonna do the title for it, but basically like it could be like we're doing like an interpretation of something, or maybe this can be a channeled message, and then that theme will follow us to day 2, which is either a deep dive or a let's go up high. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like we're kind of like, I'm role modeling, I'm exploring stories with you. It could be more like story time, I guess, like and then we wrap it up on day 3 on Sunday, where it's affirmations or meditations. It's kind of like we are making sure we end on a good note, and we're fully like developing skills. So basically it's just developing the skills for us to develop what we need to do in order to get what we are hoping for, what we want, what we desire. And so feel free to look me up on Facebook. I'm the Messy Human Tarot. But also I have a website. Check down below. The prices will change in February. And I am going to be eventually fixing the website as well, possibly. I am currently also writing, so I'm like, I am that Sagittarian with so many projects, but it's a worthy goal. So eventually I will get it to it all. And that's kind of why I don't know how I have time for all this, probably because I really like this show a lot. I really have come to grow. It's going to become more and more organized, and I'm going to make it more and more better, but we'll get there. So I wish you well. May I meet, blessed be, amen, to good health. And to losies, I am so appreciative of you. Ta!